What up, world? It's your boy Sky, broadcasting live. First thing of the day, you know, sun's barely coming out and whatnot. So, anyways, I'm just doing a message now because I've had a lot of alone time and it's been an interesting phase, interesting point in my life, you know. But I'm getting through it and you know, eternally free. I'm eternally free. I'm a free man, and like a lot of it, honestly, a lot of stuff that we all go through with overthinking, with mental stuff, stuff like that. It's like a lot of it is honestly us like overthinking and worrying about stuff. Well, I don't know about everybody, but I'm just thinking about myself. Like a lot of times I find myself overthinking or whatever, and I guess deep down intuitively you start to pick up the dots and connections. Like I've noticed my own patterns at first, many years ago before I went vegan, when we're all in school and stuff. Like, of course, we're gonna consume like a lot of stuff. We're gonna consume all this junk food. When we watching sports, the games, politics, all this stuff. And then little by little, I started to detach from TV and stuff and just like focus on music, social media, YouTube, and then I would start watching some YouTubers like in the fitness world, lifting weights, bodybuilding, you know, motivational, inspirational type of stuff. And then I started to transition. I moved out to be solo. And then that's when I began just eating once a day and then going vegan, by getting rid of the meat and the dairy. And then that's when it really began. And I stopped watching. I wasn't watching no TV at the place I moved to, even though I have one. And then from then on, it just developed to where I just let go of meat and dairy, and I've been like that for over 2 years now. And the consumption changes. Like the people I'm subscribed to on YouTube completely changed. Like to be honest, I'm only really actively watching sometimes. It's just to be real, it's just the parts of the vegan community. You know what I mean? To be honest, like the most, it's all just vegan community people, family members. Infinite Waters, Ralph Smart, Mike Rashid, some of Dr. Sadie stuff, and there's some other people like Tony, Mitchell, little sister, and there's some few other women and few brothers in this vegan community that I watch. Some couples, and I just because I would be watching that, like Infinite Water stuff will be guiding me through this voyage and other people too, But like after a while too, it's like you already watched all the videos, so then you got to get out on the stage. You know what I mean? And it shows that it's like your turn or our turn, to like produce, just do something like produce obviously videos, but also like you know something inside your reality too. Like don't stay stuck overthinking and waiting and stuff. I'm no saint, perfect expert of this stuff. I'm just saying what's up for me because I've been going through a whole lot, and like I have many questions, and all I am in the pursuit of is true peace within my spirit because it's been a lot going on, and you know, it's whenever we get in touch with infinity, then it's like things speed up, and you start realizing a lot. It accelerates our awakening process. It boosts our strength, our power, our sense of worthiness sometimes. And at the same time, I also ended up having still to go through things, problems, disappointments, delays, setbacks, unexplainable challenges, stuff like that. I'm not gonna keep going on about it, but like then I learned just to let it go, to just let it go. You know what I mean? Because I don't even know how to even like keep ruminating and overthinking on and on with it serving me. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't. So usually just can ponder something and then develop a plan to move forward. And for me, I've just learned to let go of all the 20 years before this vegan voyage changed. Had to let that go. Of course, sometimes I'll remember where I came from. I have my baby photos and all that stuff, but it's like staying stuck there, thinking about it, like just staying stuck there, like truly taking your time to sit down and to like really think for a long time, all day, every day. That's depression. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with some reflection and to see how far you come and whatever, but like, when it's like that every day, you get stuck. It's not good for you. It's not good for us. So obviously I've let go of that a while ago, and then just the last 2 years, the last few months, all that stuff, and it's like things start picking up speed, and it's honestly scary a lot of times. But then at the same time, you're like, what am I supposed to be scared for? So long as I'm still, in alignment and still learning from my mistakes and still preventing, stuff that's not a service to us from happening. And so long as, I continue being intelligent, which I always am, then we can navigate through this life ride, you know, with both hands on our steering wheel. But like just extreme levels of acceleration is what it feels like, and I have so many questions, so many thoughts, so much, because I guess the biggest so-called triggers for me, not even triggers, just questions, thoughts that come to my mind, you know. So the biggest ones are like, meaning to life, purpose to life. And, there's, there's an Arabic saying, Arabic phrase that it was written, like this was all been planned out, like we're living in a predetermined, like, destiny or whatever, like we're like puppets or something, or whatever, like on a board game or something, I don't know. And it was written, and it's called Maktub. Maktub. It was written. So it's part of that, and I guess just understanding what that whole meaning is, if it's what I am describing it as or whatever. I don't know how that even works. I don't know. And then just general purpose, like how to like move forward with it, like give it your own purpose, having some type of meaning, and just getting over, just letting go of just this whole meaningless, pointless type of approach, mindset, and actually giving it some type of meaning, because seeing that as meaningless and pointless and useless, like over and over again every day, especially at a young age, is kind of depressing, and it weighs us down really heavy, So I'm looking to solve that, these dilemmas, these questions, concerns in my head. Also about, how things will work out with love life. Like now it's like I'm just alone, having my space, and like I guess I'll see what's up. You know what I mean? Like everybody doing their own thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like you let go of chasing in a way. And I mean, there's no forcing or rushing anything. It's just like, I don't know, I be feeling like I really do keep boosting my own self-love, like how much I really love myself by taking care of myself like a lot, so I can breathe and like be able to receive and give love, like up to now, I just it's I've been giving what I can give, you know what I mean? And sometimes I'll get stressed out or bummed out or confused or defensive or this or that. And, I've been remorseful. I've been righting my wrongs, you know, and that's that. But I know, you know, my learning lessons, my mistakes, my downfalls, whatever, out of character moments, you know, there was still reason behind it. Why? Nobody has one up on anybody. You know what I mean? It's all equal. No matter how we look at it, it's all equal. So, but it's not a true reflection of us today. Maybe, back then, whatever learning lesson or mistake or whatever we might have made, we're a new person, Lord willing, for those of us who really are truly evolving and growing, we're a new person. My heart is in a better place now. And thankfully, maybe those even learning lessons might have been some of the biggest, like, blessings, you know, for the long run, to realize what we don't want to be around us, involved in, you know what I mean? So, I'm seeing that as that. And also, honestly, just like financial stuff and friends, you know what I mean? Because, like, of course, it's like whenever you have all this money, everybody's there. And I do desire to be the most wealthiest man in the world. There's I get subtle hints and subtle, you know, truths and subtle, you know, reminders that we are actually rich. It's just that I don't know it yet. I've heard that from a mentor a few times that I'm already rich. I just don't know it yet. You know, understand what that means. I don't know. You know what I mean? Part deep down, to be honest, all throughout my life, I felt like my family is like very wealthy. Despite any circumstances, all the stuff I always want to complain about, about silly stuff, whether it's just like the conditions of the house that I was raised in, or, wanting to compare and see all these material things and maybe we didn't buy them or whatever, like a Porsche or a fancy house or whatever, this or that, just being ungrateful, focus on the wrong thing, like, it didn't come. But, like, I noticed that I was always taken care of no matter what, you know what I mean? From all the different school activities, supplies, food, even though it's junk food for the most part, with some fruit, all this the camps I ever went to, for sports or for different activities, all the traveling, everything. Like, I was always taken care of, by the grace of God, thankfully. My parents love me, you know what I mean? And I'm grateful to have both of them. And it's just like, I've always felt like we do have wealth, or at least this richness, like, as in, you know, just having health, you know, having the love connection, with our family, with, my parents being together, with the simple things like my parents, they love having their garden, I love it too, I'm building one as well, and like just the simple things. I admire too. Just I'm living in my own unique way, and like I've always felt like that deep down that I'm worthy of just being able to do whatever I want to do, freely, peacefully, calmly. Sometimes it is a little bit overwhelming. At the same time, I'm like, deep down, I'm not here to just burn out and crash and burn and do what they want us to do and do what most people do No, I'm here to like actually do something different and what makes the most sense and could last a long way. So that's why I'm a big enthusiast of just the whole going full circle with love. That's what makes sense. That's what the messages I've been getting from the universe, and that's what I truly desire though. Just that one, obviously it will be amazing to get love from, everybody, all the amazing women and awesome guys, like handshakes, whatever, maybe some help out here and there, some support, hugs from, ladies and whatnot, stuff like that. Of course, it's just, it feels like I'm just being prepared to handle all that because how I see it is, and what my message I've been reminding is just to keep, you know, the peace and harmony and keep things in check. I don't know how everything works. It's just like I've always been a guy who, you know, whenever I'm in a relationship, whenever I'm like looking to, settle down and just date one at a time, just one, not multiple or any of that stuff. It's always just one. I was just like, okay, one is enough. It would always just be them, you know. I have a history of, respecting all the women I've ever been with enough to still be loyal and faithful, despite any of my wrongs or our wrongs or any of our hard times. I always stay true in that point, you know. And it's because I see oneness. I see the universal truth of oneness. Like do unto others as you would desire to be done to you. You know what I mean? Like sometimes everybody's gonna learn somehow, some way, just in a different way, but like sometimes it takes for us to like advance in our levels of love and experiences and whatnot to really understand the whole, you know, like reciprocation sometimes. So like when I say do to others as you would want to be done to you, that's common sense. So this whole time I've always just been like, you know, respectful. You know what I mean? Like if I saw a union of people or whatever, a guy and a girl, I was happy for the couple, but I respected the couple. I wasn't trying to interfere with the couple. I wasn't trying to play around with the couple. I wasn't trying to steal, you know, a girl or anything like that. You know what I mean? I just respected it because we're supposed to be doing what we desire to be done to us. And I'm just speaking my own unique perspective. And I desire peace and loyalty and faithfulness and all that stuff. And I live that life, you know. So that's the world I'm in. All the other stuff, it don't matter. It doesn't exist in my world. Our world, you know. That drama, immature stuff doesn't exist in my world. Our world. And like, I just feel like the more love I have, the more I'll be in connection and able to communicate with people more fluidly. Especially there's people that there's nothing to talk about too, and it's just like I don't know. It's not a bad thing. It's just I just feel super different. That's how I am every day. You know, I don't fit in anywhere. Friends come and go. You know what I'm saying? It's like I just desire to be at peace. That's it. With the community of people that really care and show it too. Because now it's like a lot of times we wake up and I just start growing up or whatever. But it's like everybody's got their own objectives to complete. Even as people in this vegan community. You know, people waking up to to run the restaurant. To go out into the villages and nature, to create YouTube videos, to create recipes, to create clothing, to talk with, clients. The list goes on. People got lives. People do personal training and boxing and fighting and stuff like that. People got lives. That's why I'm understanding. You know what I mean? that we all got to step up to our own unique plate, our own role, our own position in this sport called life. You know, and that's what I've understood. I guess to have that healthy maturity is what I'm developing. To where I'm able to step up to the plate, but also still be able to, relax and still, you know, enjoy some fun, enjoy some, time at least connecting with people, with friends or whatever. Dream time, I call it. You know, meditation time, whatever I call it. And it's just a big crossover because you see nobody saving us. So it's like you gotta figure it out for yourself. You know, and for me, it's like I'm here for the long run, the long term. So like certain things that I was getting certain vibes about, of course, I was very passionate. I'm very passionate about that, of preventing that from being in my life and making the necessary adjustments to let it go. You know, I've spoken about it. So that's that, but it's real. You know what I'm saying? It's real. It's thinking intelligently, for the long run. And I've been saying that, but by staying focused on it, I'm grateful, because at least I've been moving forward, you know. No matter how hard it's been, at least I've been moving forward. And deep down, I just desire for all this stuff to clear out and to make sense. That's it. Like, sometimes I'll be thinking way too much, trying to analyze life, trying to wonder about how we got here, who we are, why we came here, why is the world like this? Will I ever find love? You know, all these plans about when will I travel, how will I make all this money, when will I have children, why do some people treat people like this? Why did I go through this? Why did I go through that? All this stuff. I have a bunch of questions, but the message I get is just to focus on right now what I can do to boost my reality, to improve it. And it's just the service, the work that we do, like from any of these delivery service apps to books, writing a book, to consultations, to training, to all these different opportunities, entrepreneurially speaking, you know, that's what it is. And like, it has been a hard pill to swallow going through all those jobs I've ever been at, and to just hate the jobs and to have left them because I didn't like them, because I didn't resonate with them, and to have been homeless and just gone through all types of financial problems and just trying to survive, trying to live, just in the just to live, like all that is. You realize how difficult it is, then you gotta stay on track. Even though deep down I know that I'm worthy to live freely, it's just, I guess, it feels like it's supposed to be earned or whatever. So that's when I'm doing it, because still when I go in, of course, you gotta pay. You gotta pay, with our tool of money, you know what I'm saying? So I'm done fighting that, and I'm just surrendering to and accepting what is, and just move forward intelligently and trust that somehow it will work, you know. I'm not here to be stealing nothing, So that's the whole main point. I guess it's something that's earned, and I pray for the moment in time where that's made clear to me, where it's presented like, hey, here you go, Sky. have whatever you like in here. It's all on us, from now on. Or just stuff like that, like where it's made as a mutual agreement. There's no overthinking. It's just made clear, know. That's how miracles and blessings work. You know what I mean? There's not too much overthinking or worrying. It just happens how it's supposed to. So that's what I have to say about that. About the love life, I don't even care about stressing about that no more. To be real, you know, I know who I truly am deep down in my heart. What kind of guy, what kind of man I am. I know I'm a kind guy, compassionate guy, sweet, loving guy. You know, sensitive. You know, passionate, all that stuff. Silly. You know, so that's me and my true nature, authentic nature. And, I'm doing my best to remain like that, and just keep working on myself. The right one will accept me for who I am, and that's it. Shouldn't have to justify, we don't have to chase, we don't have to beg, we don't have to force. It's supposed to just work out and flow, naturally, equally between the two. The works between the two, So that's what I'm realizing, what I mean? Obviously, since they're not there, and since it's the same game, the same story with the rest of the world in different ways or whatever, at least that's why I'm developing more peace just to work on myself. Because it's like, because I got past that whole lustful sensationalism, lower nature, egotistical type of lustful living, focused solely on sex or whatever with women. Feel that pressure from these lies and been told like you need to compete to go sleep with all these women or whatever. Since I let that go, I realized that that's not the case, and that women obviously are a lot more than just pieces of meat. And I have never thought of them as only pieces of meat. I just felt pressured to just want to make love with them because I'm attracted to women, of course. I love beautiful women, but like I would feel pressured, to just go and, hook up or have a quick fix or whatever all the time. And I don't know, teach his own, whatever I've learned, what I'm saying? But it's like on a deeper level, it's like, okay, you're still getting yourself up on your feet, you're still taking care of your bills, you know what I mean? Your simple stuff, and you're getting by, you know what I'm saying? And you can add little sprinkles and add little, some sauce. That's what I call it, my terminology of the phase I'm in, where it's like you're working on this stuff, you're committed, you're not out here single searching or anything, you just like more or less just have a space just to work on ourselves. That's how I consider it. That's what I'm doing, and like, you can add little sprinkles and little frosted flakes and stuff like that to other women, or other guys if you're a woman, if you're in this point of time like this, you know. But deep down, you see what's up. You see that, okay, everybody's on their purpose, on their mission, you know. And you already know, like you feel it out with common sense that, okay, this will be forced to try to reach out and beg for attention, beg for a hug, beg for a handout, beg for, someone to love me, this and that. It feels demeaning. It feels embarrassing. It feels forced and rushed. So I guess that's the reason why we must cross over to really focus and love ourselves 100% so we don't feel like that and so that things move fluidly. So that's how I'm realizing just having to step into my own purpose, my own authenticity more and more focused every day. I say it and I stay on it. It's just different levels of the focus. Sometimes we just want to meditate and recharge and rehabilitate and heal ourselves all day. And then some days it's just like, wow, I'm just here to serve. Like just really super ultra productive, you know. So it's like being able just to have a well-rounded approach to life is what I'm realizing. So, so long as we continue to improve our health, our level of love for ourselves, and noticing the little things we can do, I feel like that will help us to pass the time that we may feel like we're very alone or whatever while everybody else is doing their stuff. You know, friends may be working, friends may be in traveling in another place. You know, a bunch of things can be going on, but it must be a signal, a sign from the universe to just, you know, carry on. It's your boy Scott, broadcasting live